Hi everyone, Amy here. I've been wanting to do another chronic illness introduction video, but I've been feeling really run down and have a cold sore, and I was going to wait till I looked a little better and felt a little better, and then I thought, well, that's silly since I'm doing a video about chronic illness. So tonight's video is going to be it's going to be a timeline basically leading up to when I was formally diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. So basically, I'm going to go from my birth all the way up to 1996, but I'll do it very quickly. So, this will give you a little history about myself and let you get to know me and what I deal with my chronic illnesses. So I was born in 1970. Nothing unusual about the birth or anything. Complications were only I was jaundiced, but that's not uncommon, and according to my research, that doesn't really predispose you necessarily to anything later in life. And then as a kid, I was sick all of the time. Personally, I think I received too many vaccines at once, and it just overloaded my immune system. That's a different video, though. I actually have that already posted on here about my theory about vaccines and the Lake Tahoe chronic fatigue syndrome epidemic in the 80s, and just what my theory is. And I'm not saying don't get vaccinated or don't vaccine your kids, so don't panic, but I do think that they need to be spaced out, but you can watch my video on that. Anyway, I was sick a lot as a kid. Nothing serious, but pharyngitis, strep throat, colds, bronchitis, just sick all of the time. And missed a lot of school. I think of weird things when I'm trying to go to sleep, and one night a play that we did in grade school popped into my head. I'm like, why don't I remember how that went? And then I remembered, oh, I was sick. I wasn't in it. Someone else had to take my place. So spent a lot of time off of school, and classmates' mothers would have to bring my Valentines to me and my schoolwork. I was still able to participate in a lot of activities, though, and a lot of sports. I did just about everything that was offered to me as a kid. Volleyball, softball, cheerleading, bowling, what else? Gymnastics, dancing, all that kind of stuff. But there's also in my little 8th grade yearbook a picture of me in a cheerleading formation, and I'm facing the wrong way because I was sick a lot and I missed a lot of practice, so I didn't know what was going on. So you can actually kind of track my illness through a lot of pictures, my childhood pictures. A lot of them you can tell that I'm sick. I look so sad and pitiful just looking at the camera. A lot of cold sores because of my immune system. So, yeah, I was sick a lot. So, once I got to high school, though, my immune system kind of strengthened a little bit. I was plagued with kind of daily headaches from my TMJ and stuff like that, but I don't think I think I got probably sick the same amount as a typical teenager. So college, um, I I don't know that I was sick any more than the typical person, but it was really hard on my immune system, walking to class in the snow, in the rain, in the ice, So I definitely got sick. And then my freshman year, the dorm I lived in, on the floor where we were, it was kind of like the basement area, and it was super hot year round. So I would have to sleep even in the wintertime with my window open and a fan going. So that wasn't extremely healthy. And then lack of sleep. I've always had problems with insomnia, lack of sleep, probably proper nutrition. um, so, I definitely got sick. And I think it was in '89, there was a measles outbreak. I did not get them. In fact, I probably should backtrack and say I have never had any of those major childhood diseases. Never had the chicken pox, measles, anything like that. I am surprised the doctors never wanted to remove my adenoids and tonsils. I now wish they would have. But anyway, I did get sick during college, and then that's when I sustained workout injuries from working out. And I believe that's really what triggered my fibromyalgia. I remember right after I graduated in 1992, I was at a picnic, and I remember having this weird feeling in my throat, like food got stuck down there. But now I realize it was my tonsils, just feeling weird. So in in February of '93, I went to a rock concert with friends. Didn't eat anything, didn't drink anything, nothing. But it was raining, and the next day I woke up with the absolute worst sore throat, virus, and I've never been the same since. I kind of recovered a little bit, but I still had a sore throat issues, and this weird knocking sound when I swallowed. I recovered a little bit, and then in March went to another concert, Dummy Me, and then I really got sick, and I think that it was probably mono. It was never diagnosed as mono, but looking back, I think that's what it was. And ever since then, my throat's never been the same. A few years ago, I was finally diagnosed with strained vocal cords, probably from the screaming at the concert. But because of that, it hurts to talk. It's hard to swallow, and I can't sing without pain, which sucks because I love to sing. I'm not great at it, but I do love to sing. And, I kept seeing a lot of doctors telling them it's not normal that I keep having recurring sore throats like this. It's just not right. And they kept plying me with antibiotics. So, in '94, I got married, and let's see, within a couple of months, got married, bought a new house. So I was doing a lot, preparing for the wedding and for the move. We went on honeymoon. The first week, I was fine health-wise. I thought that I was taking care of myself, it was really relaxing. But then the first week we went to the Virgin Islands, and it was really relaxing. And then the second week we went to Disney World and all those places. And that's when my another really bad sore throat struck, and I couldn't figure it out. Why am I getting sick? Because I thought I was relaxed, the first week, but then, I look back now and realize that, I overdid it with all the preparation, and then we were at the pool a lot, out in the heat, and then I would go into a cold hotel room. So anyway, I got really sick the second week of our honeymoon. Fortunately, we were still able to go to Disney World and all those places, but then I got so sick we actually had to have a doctor come to our room to see me. It was like the most painful sore throat I've ever had. She said she'd give me painkillers. I'm like, I'm tough. I don't need painkillers. I totally needed painkillers. Um, but I didn't get them, and then I ended up accidentally overdosing on um, my antibiotics, and I got sick, even sicker, and she had to prescribe more medicine. So basically, it took a long time to figure out the cycle, what was going on. Like 1 year, I literally had strep throat about at least a half a dozen times. So basically, what that is, and that's still what happens to this day, if I overdo it physically, even emotionally, if I'm working on a project on the computer, if I overexert myself, I have a relapse, and like a mono relapse, and I get sick. But we kept seeing doctors and trying to figure out. I had known in my gut for a long time that I thought I had chronic fatigue syndrome. It's just I don't know. I just kept going and pushing myself. I never thought about quitting college or anything like that. Um, so I just kept going, and then finally in '96 I started seeing a doctor, and he was great. I really loved him, and I told him, I said, look, I really think I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, and he finally confirmed it for me, just based on, basically there aren't any real tests per se to diagnose chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. Usually it's just a matter of ruling out everything else. I've been tested for multiple times for lupus, Lyme disease, AIDS, MS, hepatitis, all sorts of things, different types of cancer. So it's really, like I said, it really a matter of ruling everything out. So yeah, basically I think I started having symptoms, and I know I started having symptoms in college, with the CFS and the FM. So that's basically a timeline of up to the point that I was formally diagnosed. I'm going to do probably some other introduction videos so that you can better understand my illnesses. I'm hoping to spread awareness for these chronic illnesses, and to also let people know that they're not alone in dealing with their chronic illnesses. So thanks for watching. Hoping to get another video up soon.